Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Thursday, February 23rd, 2012. There's a lot to cover, so let's get right into the charts here. We're going to start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. You'll see that they are trading higher this morning by about a point and a half. Not a tremendous move higher. They were sharply higher in overnight trading. They have sold off and come back down, but they are pushing back up again. If the futures are higher, trading higher, it usually means that the U.S. dollar index is trading lower, and that seems to be the case this morning. You'll see the U.S. dollar index futures are trading lower by about 31 cents. That is a big drop, although around 4 in the morning, once the dollar caught a bid, you see what happened to the futures. The S&P futures started to fall. So again, watch that relationship, the inverse relationship between the U.S. dollar index and the S&P 500 futures. Also, every other market, the NASDAQ, the Russell, as well as the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Okay, you'll see that inverse relationship constantly taking place. What traders got to be aware of is that the dollar has a tendency to fall once the stock market opens for trading at 9:30. Right now, it's only 8:23 in the morning. Right now, the dollar could trade higher without really causing any ill effects to the market. But once the dollar falls, the market will catch a bid. Now, we must realize at 8:30, which is only about 6-7 minutes away, you will get the weekly unemployment number. So again, you will get the weekly unemployment number. That could move the markets maybe slightly. I don't really see it having all that much of an effect. I think the dollar is really the catalyst here that drives the markets higher and lower. Now, there was some news out of Europe last night. Um, it looks as if Greece is expected to really go into a pretty severe recession. Also, Portugal. And this is just some economic stuff coming out of the European Union. So we'll see how this plays out, if it really affects the markets. I think it's already baked into the cake. You also had some European banks that had some pretty terrible earnings. I believe Credit Agricole, RBS also, and I think Commerce Bank all had big write-downs this morning. So once again, I don't think it's really having much impact on the market. I think overall it's already factored in. So again, keep an eye on the dollar, and that will tell you everything you need to know. Now this morning, we are seeing the markets inflate just a little bit. You do have oil trading up at $106.68 a barrel. That's a move about 40 cents higher from yesterday. If you take a look at the USO this morning, which is the United States Oil Fund, you'll see this is moving again a little bit higher, 40.82. Pretty sharp move recently. If you take a look at the daily chart here, you'll see this thing has really soared, especially since the beginning of February. And that's going to be problematic eventually for the economy. Right now, the market seems to be absorbing it. The market's still on the sugar pill high. A lot of inflation thrown in the market, and the market loves it. So right now, oil is trading up around $106.50. So that will become problematic. Also, gasoline, and I mentioned this in yesterday's video, trading at a new high here, new 52-week high. So that's problematic as well. Looking at gold and silver, you'll see the GLD today, let's punch that up, is trading up just a little bit. Spot gold is trading higher by about 9 points to 1780. That was a big move yesterday in gold. So sharp move, and that usually will indicate higher prices in the near future for gold. But gold is moving up a little bit this morning, and the GLD trading around just below that 173 level. Same thing with SLV. You'll take a look here. SLV is trading around the 33.69 level. Yesterday it closed at 33.44. So again, if that dollar is weaker, gold, silver, copper, anything in the metal department will catch a bid, as well as oil. And oil already, with the geopolitical events surrounding Iran and the Middle East, has got a premium built into it. And then you add the weaker dollar, it really seems to be a driver for higher prices in oil. So be very careful there. Oil is holding up very well at the moment. All right, let's take a look at some stocks. We're going to start off with this biotech. Ticker symbol is VVUS. They have a diet drug that I think got some type of an approval. Stock is trading all the way up above around $22. I would not touch it. Now, it's a strong gap, so I would not short it either, but I would not be a buyer up here, okay? So just realize it's a strong gap up. The gap probably is going to hold. but I would not be a buyer of this stock up here. It's just way too extended. Let it settle in for a few days and see where it trades, and then maybe you could nibble on it one way or the other on the long or short side. But today you do have a strong gap, but I would not be a buyer here. There's no way of jumping on this thing at these levels. It's just way overdone. Okay, let's take a look at Sears Holding. I did see that they had earnings this morning. Stock is catching a bid now, trading up at around 57.50. I don't see much more upside from here. Has a ton of resistance around $60, more at 61.74. But I think even where it is right now at 57.50, I think you have a lot of resistance already here. So again, I wouldn't do anything with Sears. The gap looks pretty strong. It looks like a decent gap. So I'm not sure it's going to be that great of a fade candidate, but I wouldn't touch it either. There's just too many resistance levels from $58 all the way up to 61.75. So again, we'll see how that plays out, but I would not be a buyer of Sears up here. Let's take a look at HPQ, Hewlett Packard. New CEO and everything else, but the stock is getting hit a little bit today. Nothing terrible. It's trading right around the 28 level. It was lower, trading around 27. If the stock falls down to around 26.66, it looks very attractive there for a bounce. So watch that level. If HPQ gets there, 26.66, that would be a level I think the stock will find some pretty good support and could be a bounce intraday. So watch that level, 26.66. If it doesn't get there, so be it. Leave it alone. I don't think there's really much to do with it right now. Let's take a look at Target. Did see Target had earnings this morning. Stock is selling off, trading back up to around 23.20 after getting an initial little sell-off. It's been wild this morning. I don't think the stock has much upside one way or the other. If it does rally up, we're going to watch 53.35 as resistance. And then if it rallies through that level, it would probably be all the way up to around 54.25. But I just don't see a lot here for Target. Now the gap, there really is no gap this morning. It's just basically taking over where it left off. So I don't think there's much to do on Sears Holding. Maybe intraday pattern or something like that will come forward and you could trade that. But there's nothing to do really right at the open. Let's take a look at GOLD. This stock was catching a nice bid and it is trading sharply higher, 117.33. It's holding up fairly well. I don't love it up here. A lot of resistance around the 120 level if it gets there. But you never know what's going on in the oil and gold world today, how high things can inflate. So be a little bit careful there. But again, I'm not so crazy about that gap up this morning either. Let's take a look at Transocean. Ticker symbol is RIG. This is a nice gap up this morning. Coming off of, I guess, a 1 week loose, sloppy base. I'm just looking here. Has a lot of resistance around the $53.50 and then $55 levels. One way or the other, it doesn't look like it's all that strong of a gap, but 55 is really a major resistance point. So if it gets to 55, I think a pierce of 55 could be, a pullback area or a fade area. But wait for that level. Let me see what else I have on my list here. Kohl Stores. Okay, this is the last one I have. Kohl Stores, ticker symbol KSS. And you'll see this stock is trading down a little bit to around 50.50. It's had a very good move as of late. This looks like a strong gap down. I would not be getting in front of Kohl Stores right now. Let me see if I can find a good level here where the stock could have an intraday bounce. Yeah, I would have to wait, to be honest. There's going to be a few levels. It's probably going to be around the $50 level. You could see a short-term bounce, $49.15, and then all the way down to $48.30. Breaks through that level, though. Leave it alone after that. It probably wants to go back down to the lows. But those are the levels I would watch for right now. Basically $50, $49.14, and $48.29. If the right pattern is in place, you could see bounces at those levels. Okay. With that said, everybody, looks like the weekly jobless claims report is out. The market's ticking up a little bit. Don't want to make too much out of it, but we're now up 2.25 points. So we'll leave it there. Again, I could care less what the number is. It doesn't make any difference to me. I just care about how the market's reacting and what kind of pattern is on the charts. With that said, everybody, I want to wish you all a great trading day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good day now.